All right, so we're back here again. Sorry about the lighting change. It got darker all of a sudden. Who knows what's going on in this world in this day and age. All right, so last time we talked about rational choice theory, and so we'll kind of introduce something else, right? So we know that from a lot of theories, and that we maybe want to explain the motivations for why someone commits crime, right? That's something that's very compelling. Yeah, I zoomed in, don't worry. It's very compelling to do. And, we really want to make sure that, when we do that, we can account for motivations. We can create policies, we can create initiatives that are maybe more likely to prevent crime in the future or to keep things whole, better, and so on. So, but there's, sometimes though, when you think about all the motivations and we think about all of the different factors that go in, we consider societal concerns, we consider the influences other people have, how they're weighed differently from other people, what is the cost, what is the benefit, what punishments are there, what makes someone commit crime, what doesn't make crime, right? There are some people who argue that that is a very complex topic to do, and arguably that's true, right? If you consider like the wealth of theory that exists in the field, if you consider like how long we've been trying to find the right model or method to predict differences in crime, to create policies that work for other people, it's something that you can try to do. Some perspectives think it takes a long time to do. You have to like get people when they're young, or you have to have these kinds of interventions and so on and so forth. That it can be very convoluted, and it's hard to like pick out like what exactly is the policy message that we want to send here. So what ends up happening is that there are some people who argue that instead of trying to explain why an individual decides to commit crime or not, which can be inherently complex, it can be especially when we consider all different societal factors for something that applies in general to most places at most times. It can be quite a bit of a mess, right? So that's the gist of this perspective. So instead of focusing on why an individual commits crime, right, the perspective changes, right? So instead of trying to do an individual, we are trying to predict why an incident occurs, right, which is different. So it's a totally different unit of analysis. We're still understanding and exploring why crime occurs, but instead of focusing on the actual incident or the actual individual person or why societies have more crime, we focus on the individual incident. So this perspective is called the routine activities theory. And basically, it suggests that crime incidents occur at the conflation of three different things, right? One, that there is a motivated offender, someone who is willing to commit a crime. This does not mean that someone's like, wake up in the morning, had a big bowl of oatmeal, I'm feeling my oats, and I want to go get some crime, right? It's not like that. It's more that there are just people out there who are willing to commit crime if given the opportunity. The second component suggests that a crime incident will occur if there is a suitable target, right? So something that appears attractive or is enticing in some way. Maybe that means like someone has a punchable face, right? And you want to punch that person in the face. Maybe if you think back to our treasure guide, there's some treasure like in the window. Maybe we want to snag that. If you see someone a druggie, and you want to sell them drugs, like that would be another example of someone like who like has a suitable target, right? So then the third component, so it has like this little like triangle effect, which is like, this is a terrible triangle, but like work with me on it, right? So when we think about this triangle, right, the last component is a lack of capable guardianship. So one who is unable to protect themselves, or a target that is unable to be defense against itself, or if there is a defense such in place, one that could be easily overcome or is not as great of a barrier as other people might think. So we'll talk more about this in the next video, but this is just, again, just to introduce the idea of routine activities and where one might go. So I'll see you guys next time.